Hi everyone, and today I'm going to be doing a video discussing some of the worst tics I've ever experienced from my Tourette syndrome. Now, I do want to put a little content warning on this video because I will be discussing some self-injury tics and some tics that might affect people with emetophobia, which is the fear of sick. So I will try to put timestamps in the description so that you can skip past those bits if they affect you. And I do also want to say that because in this video I will be discussing some of the worst tics, I just want to warn you that some people with Tourette's and tic disorders might pick up tics from people sort of describing them, or if you see someone tic. So I obviously don't want anyone to pick up these horrible tics, so I just want to warn you there about that. So let's start. I think these aren't in any specific order, but one of the tics that annoyed me the most was I had a stomach clenching tic, but it was only on one side. So I'd clench the side of my stomach, but it was weird as well because I had to feel my ribs almost click, and I would just go like that. And it was very strange because I think I was around 9 years old, but it was probably actually one of the most painful tics. And the only thing that would relieve my stomach clenching tics was actually warm baths with Epsom salts in, because the Epsom salts can detox the body, reduce inflammation and relax the muscles. But yeah, that was a really horrible tic. It was very painful. Number 2, vomiting tics. Vomiting tics are absolutely awful. It started with a little sensation in my throat, like it's called the predominantary urge. It felt like I was sort of choking or something, like there was something stuck in my throat, and it triggered a gagging tic. But over time, that gagging tic developed into full-blown projectile vomiting, not even a little bit, but the whole lot, which was really horrible because in school I had to just sit in the school nurse's office and in matron with a bag, and also it was difficult because at the time I was taking antipsychotic medication 3 times a day, but I kept vomiting it up, which obviously made my tics worse because the medication was actually supposed to control my tics. Number 3. I had a tic where I had to scratch my arms until they bled, and that was really awful because obviously it was quite painful. But as well as that, I did try to wear jumpers to reduce the impact of it, but I accidentally just scratched through them. So there was literally nothing I can do because the urge wouldn't go away unless I felt the pain. The urge was actually a lot more annoying than the pain from the tic. So I was in a catch-22 situation with that tic, and it was sort of part of a complex tic. So I'd clap and then do it, and it was really, really awful. I hated that. Number 4, I had these tic explosions where just suddenly my whole body would start jerking, and I remember once in a physics class my friend had to walk me down to student support, and then my legs, my arms, my neck, my stomach, they all just started jerking and stuff, and it lasted about 40 minutes. And luckily I only had a few of those episodes, but I think it was triggered by stress because I had exams around that time, so I think that's what triggered that. Number 5. I had quite a lot of destructive tics and sort of somewhat impulsive tics as well. So, for example, I had a tic where I smashed a laptop on the floor, and a laptop was supposed to go like that, but it went like that, and then obviously you couldn't use it. In chemistry class, I did explain to the teacher that I didn't feel comfortable doing the chemistry practicals because my tics are so severe, and I would keep having the urge to pet my hand over the Bunsen burner. Luckily I never did, but it was awful because I was explaining that I don't feel comfortable doing it, and they said, no, you can do it. But then I managed to uncontrollably have like this glass flask and just smash it on the table, and there was glass everywhere. Everyone stared at me. I had to leave. But yeah, at least they believed me after that. But apparently they were finding bits of glass later on, so whoops. Also, another destructive tic, which was really awful, was I would like rip paper. So it made school very difficult because I'd rip up my work, and even if an exam paper was stressing me too much, my tics would just rip it up. So I just got ungraded on some of them when I was like in year 10 and stuff. Also destructive tics with pens as well. I used to just stab the pen into the paper and then the nib would go in. I'd be like, why? But yes, destructive tics are really awful because you just managed to break everything. But yes. Number 6, bladder tics. I had some really horrible bladder tics where I had to wear adult diapers because it was part of a stomach clenching tic, but unfortunately it wasn't just a little bit that came out, it was my whole bladder that emptied. So I was basically almost incontinent because of that, and that wasn't very good at all, obviously. I had to miss a lot of time off school for that, and it was really horrible and horrible tic. Also quite painful as well because of stomach clenching with it. So embarrassing and painful, and I had to wear adult diapers, and it was just, I didn't like it at all, obviously. Number 7, breathing tics. breathing tics, they can be like holding your breath, breathing in a pattern, and then one of the ones that annoyed me the most actually was when I had one where it sort of felt like the urge in my chest. I couldn't satisfy the breath, and it felt like I had sort of a lung infection. I didn't, but it sort of felt like I couldn't breathe properly because of the urge being so strong in my chest. So that was really distressing because I felt like I couldn't breathe. But then it's also horrible when you hold your breath or breathing patterns as well, because my fingers go cold and numb and I get lightheaded, and I don't like that either. Number 8, sensory tics. I mentioned this in a recent video, but a sensory tic is an uncontrollable sensation that's highly distressing that is not accompanied by a visible movement or vocalization. So it's basically just the urge without a tic, basically. So I would feel it going through my fingers, up my arms, and down to out my feet. And it was actually very distressing because it was an awful sensation. I was really scared that I'd have to live with this for the rest of my life. And although it couldn't physically hurt me, it was distressing because the sensation was so uncomfortable and I couldn't focus on anything. Like, I'd be trying to do homework or something and it would just happen and I couldn't focus. It was awful. Number 9, phantom tics. I did also mention this in another video. They're very scary, made me feel a bit like an alien, but they're basically out-of-body sensations that come before a tic or a Tourette OCD ritual. And number 10 is severe coprolalia. Now, sometimes with my coprolalia, it's saying the most inappropriate thing at the most inappropriate time. But unfortunately, some of my coprolalia tics are they involve uncontrollably insulting people, which obviously I do not want to do. I don't want to insult anyone. It's awful. So I would say that's one of the worst as well, because I don't want to insult my friends and stuff. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you would like to, you can comment some of your worst tics down below and see if anyone has ways to manage them so they can help. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you liked it. Bye!